Hello, my name is Kayla Hall. I'm the Intacct Practice Director here at CompuData, and today I'm going to show off some of the CRE features of Sage Intacct. So Sage Intacct is a modern state-of-the-art ERP solution, which stands for Enterprise Resource Planning, construction accounting solution. It's easy to use, navigation, and drill down access to your data. So on my screen here, you can see that I have the dashboard as my landing page. So completely up to the user where they want to land when they first log into Intacct. You can also just land on the home page here, which gives you some of the release highlights and other information from Intacct and resources and applications. Going back to my dashboard though, this is also one of my many drop-down dashboards that I have defaulted for the project performance because I figured this dashboard resonates with a lot of the construction users who will be watching this video. So we can see here that we've started with some of the key performance indicators. These are just quick snapshots of different GL groups that we have determined in the system. And not just transactions that are hitting the GL for our accrual book purposes, but actually we can track contract amounts and commitments. And being able to slice and dice each of the data at this level is what makes Intacct so powerful. So if we drill down into one of these KPIs, you can see that there's a little blue hyperlink when I put my mouse over that key performance indicator or performance card. If I click on it, then it will pop up. If I continue to drill down into this key performance indicator, we'll see that it's actually pulling up all of the transactions that make up that specific amount or that bucket. If I continue to drill down, it will actually take me right to the transaction that is creating these amounts. So as long as I have access, then I can actually go in and so you can view these subcontract agreements. I can go in and edit. If for some reason there's something that I needed to change or edit, then I had that permission, then I could do that. You can also quickly view any change orders that have been applied, revised amounts, posting details, so how it's posting to the GL, and then any historical. So if it's been converted to an AP bill, we can see that all directly from the subcontract. And then going back to my dashboard, I would just complete the process. I would say done. All of my pop-up windows will take me back to the dashboard here. And then I can drill down on other performance indicators or performance cards. So if I want to go into my contract, then it would take me to a P&L-like report here. I drill down into the bucket. This is just a GL report. So again, I'm going to drill down into this one here. And this is just a GL account. So let's see. Dashboard estimate. Bonus contract here. Again, this is taking us right down into the contracts that make up these totals, and we can drill down and edit if we need to. You can also convert if it hasn't already been converted to an AR invoice or to the next workflow step that we've configured for your specific processes. But again, we can view this contract and within the transaction itself, we can drill down even further and look at all of the key attributes that are available on this transaction. And then you would just post to change it. Go ahead and cancel. And again, taking us back to that dashboard. So below it here are financial reports. So the key reason I wanted to include financial reports is just to show the flexibility of the system. We can expand by any dimension. So this is showing project dimensions specifically, but we can expand in the rows or in the columns as you see in this one below it. So we can really design the financial reports depending on how you want to see that data and what dimensions you want to slice and dice. And we do still have the drill down capabilities as I showed you before. If we wanted to go into the cost, then it would show us all of the job cost, and maybe we want to look at, oh, this is a timesheet entry. We can go drill down into that as well. It'll take us to that timesheet and it will show us all of the employees who make up that timesheet posting effect. And we can batch these into different ways. Right now, it's going to be per project basis because that's what we have in our GL account. So you can see it's going to be per job, per cost code, the total amount that's going to hit that bucket. And you can scroll down to see we have different GL buckets that make up the job cost. all depending on how you want to configure your specific environment. So these financial reports are very flexible. And then as you can see here, we have some calculations within the financial report as well. We have our under billings, profit margin, which is just a computation account group. So you can drill down into that and get the total snapshot of why. So you have the total revenue, total cost of sales. As you're slicing and dicing, if you wanted to customize and filter, then the general ledger report will allow you to do that. And so you can filter here for any of the projects or the different dimension groups that we might have wanted to include. And then you can also show additional dimensions. So this one's specifically showing job, cost code, cost type. If we wanted to include anything like department or location or employee, vendor, customer, then we can do that. We have the option to add all of these different dimensions to our view. We would just go ahead and hit view again, and then it would recreate this general ledger report. Again, going back to my dashboard, I just exit out, and then anything's real time. So if I do make changes on the fly, we will see that reflected immediately. So really, it's very powerful to be able to slice and dice your data and drill down and making sure that we're analyzing the correct information. So here, this is the exact example that we see above, but the financial report is based off of expanding by the customer dimension rather than the project dimension. And then down below, we have a series of different reports. We've got sales reports, we've got WIP reports. This is using the add-on interactive customer report writer, which we will leverage to accommodate most of the job costing reports that our clients are used to. But there's a lot of flexibility here. So we can create pivot tables, we can create Excel-like formulas. So we can really make these be specifically what our clients need. And then this is just a sample of one we've done that showcases the continuation sheet. And then we have visuals here as well, just to showcase that Intacct, we do have graphics that we can include on dashboards to make it more visual. So we have project margins by customers. Again, you can drill down into these charts as well. It'll bring you to a income statement like report where we can go and drill down further. And it takes you to those transactions specifically on the GL. Another feature of the dashboard that is great is the ability to filter. So in the drop down here, because we're at the top level, all of our projects are managed at each of the entity levels. We can only access the top level projects, or we can access any dimension groups that we've created. So I'll be going into dimension groups next, but we can filter and change. If we wanted to look at all projects, we could do that, apply that filter, and it will include all of the reports and key performance cards that we have included on this dashboard. It will filter appropriately. So we can do with an as of date, we can put in an as of date, filter these transactions based off of a specific period of time. If we wanted to spread it by locations, by customers, we can also change it. You're allowed to have 4 filters total. So if you have the as of filter, then you can select 3 here. So as you can see, we can also just do job, cost code, cost type. You can see that before I selected cost code, cost type was grayed out, and that's because cost type is dependent on the cost code. So that would be a filtered list once you select the cost code from the project. So really easy to make those changes. We can make dashboards specific to a user, so we can create some security around that. The biggest one that I've seen is using the dimension groups. We can filter by project managers, and then only give those project managers access to that dashboard. That can include, approval transactions or their specific subcontract commitments or any type of purchase orders that they can just drill down really easily and access those transactions. So going into real quickly our account groups, or our dimension groups, excuse me. If I go into reports here, we'll go ahead and look at the job dimension groups. So you can see at the top level, we have the ones that we saw in that drop-down list. This is essentially just pulling different attributes from a project and being able to group those based off that attribute. So when we set up a job, we have the ability to mark a lot of these different fields. And so this is what we're using the fields to group by. So creating these job groups. We can also include these groups as far as financial reports. So filtering out specific financial reports for different buckets that we want to slice and dice on the project. We can do that through all of these attributes. So this one's using job type equals commercial. So this is only going to pull jobs that are categorized as job type commercial. So if we could scroll into a entity, I can go ahead and show you some of the job dimensions that we've used to create project managers. So you can see here, this is a project manager. If I edit, this is using the job manager ID of the project. So again, the attribute of the project, and we are equaling a specific project manager user. Now, if I go in and go to the dashboard, I'll easily be able to filter for a project manager, and it will only include the jobs that he is assigned. So it makes the dashboard a lot more efficient. They don't have to go drill down into their specific projects. They can just access their few projects that he's been assigned here.